Hey there, friend. Come on in. Sit down. Don't mind the creaking chair. It's been with me longer than some of my relatives. I'm Paul Walker, not the movie star, though back in 1967 I had sideburns sharp enough to stop traffic. These days, I've traded horsepower for herbal tea and good conversation. And right now, I want to talk to you like your family, like you're someone I'd trust with the last slice of pie. Because there's something on my chest, and maybe it's on yours too. If you're anywhere between 55 and 75, you're probably feeling what I felt years ago. This creeping weight, not just in your knees or lower back, but in your life. That slow, heavy feeling that things are more complicated than they need to be. You wake up one day and it's like the world around you has become one big garage sale, full of things you don't remember buying, emotions you never unpacked, and relationships that just sort of linger like leftovers in the fridge. And that, my friend, is why I'm here. To tell you the truth that hit me like a slap in the face and a hug all at once. You don't need more. You need less. I learned that the hard way. It was my 65th birthday. My daughter, bless her sugar-coated heart, threw me a surprise party. I walked into the house, and the first thing I saw was a banner that said, 65 and still alive, in glittery letters. Thought I was walking into my own funeral rehearsal. The house was packed with people, neighbors, cousins I hadn't seen in years. Even my old dentist showed up, probably sniffing around for another root canal. There were gifts everywhere. Socks, ties, barbecue sauce sets, gadgets I couldn't even name. Someone gave me a Bluetooth thing. I thought it was a hearing aid and tried to put it in my ear. My grandson still hasn't let that one go. But somewhere between the third slice of cake and my fifth awkward hug, I looked around and felt something strange. Not joy, not gratitude, just exhaustion. My smile was painted on like an old barn door. I kept thinking, why do I feel so tired, surrounded by people and stuff that are supposed to bring me happiness? That night, when the last guest finally left and my feet were screaming louder than the grandkids, I went up to my bedroom, closed the door, and just stood there. And for the first time in a long while, I saw it. Piles of books I'd never read. Drawers stuffed with receipts, old chargers, broken watches. My closet looked like a time capsule from every decade since 1972. I even found a pair of jeans with bell bottoms so wide I could have parachuted with them. And it hit me hard. I had spent a lifetime collecting everything. Memories, trinkets, emotional baggage, dead friendships, old grudges. The kind of stuff that doesn't just sit in your house, it clutters your soul. So the next morning, I brewed myself a cup of strong black coffee. No sugar, just like my grandmother used to make it. And I made a decision that changed my life. I was going to simplify. Not someday, not when I retire, not after the holidays, right now. And so began what I call the Great Shedding. It started with the junk drawer. Everyone's got one. Mine was more of a junk cabinet. There were batteries that didn't work, takeout menus from restaurants that had closed a decade ago, and a key I still don't know what it unlocked. Maybe my sanity. I dumped the whole thing out. Every item went through one question. Does this still serve me? If it didn't, off it went. That question became my mantra. I used it on everything. Clothes, tools, books, emotions, people. Harsh? Maybe, but necessary. You wouldn't believe the stuff I let go of. I donated 6 garbage bags of clothes. I found 15 mugs in my kitchen. 15! And I live alone. Unless I'm hosting a coffee convention, there's no reason I need that many cups. And then came the sentimental stuff. Oh boy, that's the hardest. boxes full of birthday cards, every school project my kids ever made, even a shoebox full of matchbooks from restaurants I didn't even remember eating at. Now, I didn't toss all of it. Some things you keep, not because they clutter your life, but because they light it up. Like the photo of my wife on our wedding day. Her smile in that picture still stops time for me. But I chose what to keep, intentionally. I stopped letting the past hold space in my present without paying rent. You know what happened next? I could breathe again. My house felt bigger. My mind felt lighter. I slept better. My back didn't hurt as much, probably because I wasn't carrying a mountain of physical and emotional baggage every day. And here's the wild part. I started enjoying the little things again. The sound of rain on the roof, the way my dog Mabel sighs when she naps, the taste of toast with just the right amount of butter. These things had always been there, but I was too busy managing the clutter to notice. I even started cooking again. Simple meals, good meals, eggs, vegetables, soup from scratch. None of that 5-sauce, 10-spice nonsense. When you simplify your life, even food tastes better. And let me tell you something I learned late, but better late than never. You don't need to keep up with anyone. Not the neighbors, not your siblings, not your younger self. Life isn't a race, it's a walk, and you get to decide the pace. For a long time, I thought if I just bought the right recliner or took the perfect vacation or had the newest phone, I'd feel complete. But no. You know what made me feel complete? Sitting in a quiet room, surrounded only by what I loved and not a single thing I didn't. That's it. No fireworks, no standing ovation, just peace. The kind of peace that doesn't show up with a bang, but settles in like a warm blanket over your bones. Now, if you've made it this far and something inside you's nodding, if you've looked around lately and felt like your life is too full of things that don't matter, then maybe it's time for your own great shedding. And if you're sitting there thinking, Paul, I needed to hear this, then I want you to do me one small favor, because old men like me live for connection. Like this video, leave a comment below with your own story or thoughts, and make sure to hit that subscribe button. We're just getting warmed up, and I've got so much more to share with you. Next, I'm going to tell you how I applied simplicity to the trickiest part of all, relationships. Now that's where things got really real. Now, friend, I told you I was going to talk about something a bit harder. You see, letting go of old junk, mismatched socks, and unread books was the easy part. But when I turned my eyes toward the people in my life, that's when the real clutter showed up. I don't care how old you are, 55, 65, or 75, people will still pull at you with their expectations, their drama, their guilt trips, their silent treatments and loud complaints. You could be the kindest soul on earth, and there'll still be someone out there mad at you for not calling them back in 2009. When I hit 70, I started noticing that some relationships just felt heavy. You know what I mean? There were people in my life who I'd known for years, decades even. But every time we talked, I felt drained. I wasn't laughing, I wasn't growing, I was just showing up out of habit, like reheating leftovers I didn't want to eat in the first place. One afternoon, I was sitting in my living room after a phone call with an old friend. We'd been close once, but over the years our conversations had become one-sided. He talked, I listened. He complained, I comforted. He criticized, I stayed quiet. I hung up the phone and just sat there. And for the first time, I asked myself, why am I still giving energy to someone who doesn't give it back? That question changed everything. I started thinking about all the relationships in my life, family, friends, even neighbors, and I asked the same question. Is this connection lifting me up or wearing me down? That was when I created what I now call my peace list. See, I made a quiet little vow to myself I would only keep relationships that gave me peace. Not perfection, not constant happiness, just peace. And you know what happened? My world got smaller, but it also got so much lighter. I stopped feeling guilty for not attending every baby shower or barbecue or birthday dinner for someone's cat. I stopped picking up the phone just 'cause it rang. I stopped texting back out of obligation. Instead, I started pouring my energy into the people who made me feel seen, heard, and safe. My cousin Janine, who calls just to laugh with me about the old days. My neighbor's son, who helps me with my lawn and listens to my stories like I'm the Dalai Lama. My barber, who knows more about my grandkids than their teachers do. These were the people who gave me life, not took it away. And let me say this, because I know it might sting a little. Sometimes the people you need to walk away from are the ones who share your last name. I know, but Paul, blood is thicker than water. Sure, but you know what else is thick? Peanut butter. And I ain't trying to live in that kind of sticky mess forever. You don't owe anyone access to your peace just because you share a family tree, especially if they're the ones who've been sawing at your branches for years. Letting go of toxic family was one of the hardest things I've ever done. But you know what helped? Understanding that forgiveness doesn't always mean reconciliation. I can forgive you in my heart and still not let you sit at my dinner table. Now, before you think I turned into a grumpy old man who cut everyone off and lives in a shack with a shotgun, no. I just simplified. I got intentional. And the magic? Once the noise settled, the right people started showing up. I had more energy for my grandkids, more focus to reconnect with old friends I actually missed, more room in my heart for joy, not just survival. And that's the power of simplicity. It's not about being alone. It's about choosing who gets to walk with you in this sacred stretch of life. Because let's face it, you've already made it through the fire. Divorce, death, disappointments, bills that didn't pay themselves, jobs that sucked the life out of you, people who didn't love you the way you deserved. You made it. So why spend the next 20 or 30 years dragging dead weight behind you? Let it go. All of it. Let go of the friends who ghost you until they need something. Let go of the relatives who guilt you for setting boundaries. Let go of the acquaintances who only check in to gossip or compete. And here's the good part. When you start living simply, when you start trimming the branches and cleaning the house inside and out, you realize something powerful. You finally have room for you. Your hobbies, your rest, your quiet mornings, your health, your dreams, the ones you put on hold for everyone else. That's when I started painting again. I hadn't picked up a brush in 40 years, and I was terrible at first, but it wasn't about the product. It was about the space I had created, the stillness, the silence. I'd sit by the window with my cup of tea and my paints, and for the first time in forever, I felt free. Not busy, not needed, not responsible, just free. And friend, I want that for you too. Not in some spiritual, hippy-dippy, incense-burning way. No, I'm talking about real life freedom, the kind that comes from walking through your home and loving everything you see, from looking at your calendar and smiling instead of sighing, from answering the phone and hearing a voice that lifts you, not one that sinks you. You deserve that. So if you're sitting there staring at a house that feels too full, a phone book that feels too long, or a heart that feels too heavy, just know this: it's not too late. You can start today, right now. Simplify, strip it all down, get to the root of what really matters, and let that be enough. I know this isn't the message you'll hear in commercials. They want to sell you more stuff. New phones, new shoes, new magic pills. But I'm not here to sell you anything. I'm just an old man with shaky hands, a quiet house, and a full heart. And I'm telling you the truth no one told me when I was your age. Less is enough. Less is freedom. Less is joy. Now, if any part of this stirred something in you, if you're thinking, bang, Paul, that's exactly what I needed to hear, then don't just sit there, friend. Like the video, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. Not for me, though it sure makes this old man smile, but for yourself, so you don't miss the next time we sit and chat like this. Because I've got more stories, more truths, and more warmth to send your way. Until then, keep it simple, keep it peaceful. And remember, you're not getting older, you're getting lighter.